Hey everyone, what's up? How's it going? This is Finite MTG, and today we are back with a draft of original Innistrad. I really like this set. It's not one of my all-time favorites like it is for a lot of people, but I mean, this is a really nice old format, great for chaos drafts and that kind of thing, and just nice to play in general. So with that, let's dive into the pack here. Looks like this is going to be a relatively easy Elder of Laurels. 3 mana, 2/3, not too much going on there, but that activated ability is super annoying, makes it very difficult for opponents to block. Best card we're passing is like a Bonds of Faith. The blue and red uncommons are okay. Harvest Pyre, not a card you really want more than one of, but yeah, happy enough with an Elder of Laurels. There are a lot of bombs in this format, a lot of them not at Mythic too. Some very, very powerful rares. Well, we have some good cards here. I think this card is pretty strong. So 5 mana for a thing that might be relatively small, but if you hit a player, you draw a card. This seems like not the kind of card you want to be passing. Not really sure what you take over it. Looks like an uncommon's missing. Maybe a very disciplined person is taking like an equipment over it. There might be some uncommons that are so good you'd consider them, but I think I have to take the Sturmgeist. More Corrupt Banshee on the surface seems like a great card, but it's not always easy to enable Morbid on your turn. Otherwise, Kessig Wolf can be a decent aggressive threat, and Stitched Drake, a little tricky to cast, but pretty good if you can get that relatively early. Alright, well, unfortunately not seeing much for blue after those picks. Really not seeing much in general here. There are some red uncommons that I'm looking at. Hanweir Watchkeep and a Rakish Air. There's an Orchard Spirit, which is a decent card. I might take it here just to try to commit to green. I mean, this is just a very, very weak pack. Into the Maw of Hell is not the worst, but I really don't like how expensive it is. And Forbidden Alchemy, I mean, it's not a bad card. It's really, I think it's the Spirit or the Alchemy for me here. I don't think I want one of the red uncommons. I think I'm going to take the Spirit. I've been really impressed by Evasion so far in this format, and I think like a green, aggressive, and maybe evasive deck is pretty well within my wheelhouse. Alright, next up, another pretty weak pack here. We have Deranged Assistant, which can be really sweet if you are casting some really expensive spells or if you care about your graveyard. We're not really set up to do that kind of thing, but Sturmgeist is relatively expensive, so a little bit of ramp for that would make sense. Same for the Elder of Laurels, the mana sink on that. I think I'm going to probably take the Assistant. There's just so little going on in this pack though. Stitcher's Apprentice is another card you could consider here, but yeah, let's just take this Assistant. Oh, nice. Some very good double blue spells that I would not have expected to see at this point. I really like Dissipate, but I think I'm going to want to take Claustrophobia, especially as I'm looking to commit to blue here. Green and blue, not really known for their interaction with creatures. Unfortunately, I am passing a Grizzled Outcasts. Card's not amazing, but it is pretty solid. And now that we just picked up a bit of ramp, it's even more appealing. That said, we can pick up 5 drops later, and Claustrophobia, yeah, definitely happy picking that one up at this point. Alright, well, this pack has almost nothing playable. There's a Corpse Lunge, and I mean, Nightbird's Clutches, Spare from Evil, Wooden Stake are all kind of gotcha cards in the right scenario. Clutches is probably the best out of those. I might take the Memory's Journey here for signaling, and also because it's not super unreasonable to think that we could go into like a Spider Spawning deck from this point, and Journey will be good there. Yeah, really only passing the Corpse Lunge, and even that card I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, I'd rather stay in blue-green. Okay, well now we have few options. I think I probably want to take Sensory Deprivation, just another decent form of interaction. Really good against like a Moon Heron. Otherwise, there's like a Kinder Catch, which is solid, but I don't like the triple green. Also, I mean, it would just be nice if it were Colossal Dreadmaw, right? There's Caravan Vigil, but I don't think we're super interested in that either. So yeah, we'll move this Spider Spawning Hedge to the sideboard and pick up a Sensory Deprivation. Alright, well, we are not looking to be an aggressive deck. In the Somberwald, Spider is very, very nice if you can get the Morbid on it, though it's not super easy to do that, like I mentioned for the Banshee. Spidery Grasp, kind of funny, 2-4 and Reach right next to the 2-4 with Reach, but I think that the Spider is just better than the Grasp. Hysterical Blindness, not really a card I'm interested in. Oh, nice, and we get a nice late Orchard Spirit and also a Makeshift Mauler. So I really like Makeshift Mauler as a card. I think the design is great. However, I don't want more than one in my deck. I want to keep my curve low if possible. And yeah, the Spirit is just going to be better for those purposes. The problem with the Mauler, of course, is you only have so many creatures in your graveyard to exile. We do have the Assistant, which makes it better, but we don't have any like Scobs or anything, so it's just Spirit here. Nice. Okay, we get a late Mulch. Yeah, so this card just letting you hit multiple lands. It's basically strictly worse Winding Way, which is kind of funny, but Winding Way for lands is still the way you want to play it a lot of the time. And yeah, not interested in the other stuff in the pack. Happy to get Mulch this late. Okay, there's really nothing here. I'll just take this Furor of the Bitten. Okay, now we pick up a Bramble Crush. Blow up a Planeswalker. Probably not going to happen, but you never know. And I'll take a Traitorous Blood over the Gruesome Deformity. So note that in the past, or in the last like, what, 5-6 picks here, there's been like nothing playable for us. This is how the packs shake out a lot of the time in Innistrad. This is very different from the draft formats we have nowadays. Wow, got some goodies here. So just keep in mind that you're going to have to commit pretty early if you want to be able to end up with a good number of playables, though it's not too embarrassing to go up to 18 lands if you're a little short on playables. So there's a Balefire Dragon in the pack, of course, but I think we're really nicely committed to blue-green here. Like, we don't have anything insane, except for maybe getting past the Sturmgeist, but I don't think I want to dip into red. Also, it's not super easy to get to 7 or 8 mana for decks that aren't exactly green and blue. You see the Avacyn's Pilgrim also in the pack, but I think we just want to take this Ludovic's test subject here. It takes a while to work, but this thing is the real deal in terms of finishers. Sometimes it's even easier to turn on than a Balefire Dragon, so just take the rare that's on color here and wave goodbye to the Pilgrim that we would also be interested in. Never said Scrybug about a pack before, but I guess somebody's getting double Balefire Dragon, which is really hilarious. This is just, yeah, Balefire Dragon and Slayer of the Wicked. Like, Slayer is sort of the Flametongue Kavu of the format. Almost every deck is going to have multiple hits for this. Even something like Green-White Humans is going to have human werewolves that are green. So yeah, this card is super nice. But we have another very good one here too in Silent Departure. This card's just super efficient, and the flashback is great, which allows you to get value milling it from a Mulch or a Deranged Assistant. There's also a Think Twice, which is good for those reasons, but not stellar besides. Also interested in the Makeshift Mauler in the pack. Now that it's pack 2, we're more interested in picking up one of those guys. Alright, so interesting pick for us here. There's an Avacyn's Pilgrim, a Moon Heron, a Mulch. I also like Blazing Torch more than most people, and an Armored Scob too. So at this point we don't have any huge payoffs for milling. We have a couple cards that kind of like it. Mulch we already saw really late, and I'm kind of liking this Moon Heron. I think most people probably take the Avacyn's Pilgrim out of this pack would still be pretty good for what we're doing, but I'm thinking maybe we take the Moon Heron, Green Drafter takes the Pilgrim, we wheel another Mulch, or maybe they take the Hamlet Captain. And I would be pretty happy with that. We're a little bit low on playables at this point, and some evasive threats at 4 mana would be nice too. So, yeah, sorry to the Pilgrim, but I'm going to take the Heron here. Okay, well, not an ideal pack here, getting that Spectral Flight, and as usual, my blue decks already have a lot of evasion in them. I mean, otherwise, Kindercatch, Caravan Vigil. I guess we take a Caravan Vigil here in case we're enabling Morbid. Boneyard Worm, I'm not a huge fan of at this point. If this were like a Splinter Fight or something, sure. But yeah, I just think it's going to be a bit difficult to get stuff into our graveyard. And yeah, this card is fine. It probably makes our deck better. Yeah. Okay, well, not too punished, as now we get a Deranged Assistant, which is sort of something we're more in the market for anyway. It doesn't let us go 1-drop into 3-drop like the Pilgrim does, but it does mess with our graveyard, which is nice. And we have a Blazing Torch as well. I really would like to pick up one Blazing Torch, at least during this draft. I already said green and blue are light on interaction, and this is just a colorless shock. It's a little clunky, but sometimes the evasion comes in handy too. But yeah, this time it's going to be Assistant over the Moon Heron. Alright, so now we have a Runic Repetition. That would be something if I wanted to try to do Memory's Journey shenanigans with spider spawning. Same with the Gnaws to the Bone we've been passing, but at this point we're most of the way through pack 2 in terms of new cards that we'll see. So I don't think spider spawning is very likely to happen. We kind of need to get one early in pack 3 for it to be possible. So I think I'll just take a Woodland Sleuth here. 4 mana 2/3 Gravedigger is really nice, but of course this card is much worse than that, so it's a card we will consider playing, but not one I'm in love with. Alright, and now we get a nice payoff for playing this evasive of a deck. We have Curiosity, get some nice redundancy there on the Sturmgeist, or suit up maybe a Moon Heron, one of the Orchard Spirits, something like that. Really like playing this card when the opponent's tapped out. Just get that first card in it with the creature guaranteed, and then if they have an answer, you know, it's not a blowout after you've gotten your first card. Sulphur Falls could be interesting too. If we were maybe in pack 1, we could try to think about getting a Brimstone Volley in pack 2 or 3. But yeah, I like the Curiosity for this deck. Okay. So now we have Boneyard Worm. Again, we're not really into that. Dream Twist, not a card. Well, actually, I might end up taking the Dream Twist here. There's a Shimmering Grotto, which I don't love, just in general, and it's green in particular. Like, we can do better. There's Traveler's Amulet in the set. We have a Caravan Vigil already. We don't really do anything with Moon Mist, and the Sharpened Pitchfork is not very good. So I'm actually going to take Dream Twist to try to mill out spider spawning decks out of the sideboard. I think that's actually a super relevant thing that people don't always remember. So in this pack we have Fortress Crab and Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish is kind of a divination. We have some spells that go to the graveyard pretty quickly with it. Crab is just like a solid blocker. Another card, I would want one copy of this deck for the 4-drop slot, but I'm going to take the Make-A-Wish. I think it's a bit easier to get these crabs, and I think the Make-A-Wish could be good here. So now, see some nice aggressive cards for white and some pretty unexciting cards for black. I think I'm going to take the Rally the Peasants because it's the card I could see myself losing to most easily. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I thought I had maybe made a bad pick when I passed that Avacyn's Pilgrim, planning to wheel the Mulch, but how about just the Pilgrim itself? Sure. Mulch is good, don't get me wrong. Again, nice with the Make-A-Wish, but yeah, take a Pilgrim. Um, could take Curse of the Bloody Tome for similar shenanigans against spider spawning, but we'll just take a Kinder Catch here. And I think we want Night Terrors and a Wooden Stake. It's not often you play against the dedicated vampire deck, but Stake is the nuts against it. Alright, and a very decent pack for us here. Nothing crazy. Claustrophobia and Dissipate once again, but also a Villagers of Estwald. And after wheeling the Mulch and the Pilgrim super late, remember this set does not have a ton of cards that are playable. Look at all these unplayables. Frightful Delusion, Ghostly Possession, Gruesome Deformity. I think Unbreathing Horde is very bad. So just a bunch of cards that are not going to add to anyone's deck. So I think we can take a Claustrophobia here. I really like having interactive cards like this. And yeah, planning to wheel Villagers. If we don't wheel it, we already have a bunch of decent 3-drops. That's just how it goes. Alright, so we have Grimoire of the Dead, Skob Goliath, nice. Silhoff Occultist, and a Kinder Catch. Not interested in the 2/3 or the 6/6. So do we want this thing? But actually this thing could be pretty good for us. We have a few ways to ramp. It's not super difficult for us to get stuff into the graveyard thanks to Mulch and the assistants. Sure, I think we're probably more likely to play a Skob Goliath than a Kinder Catch. And Grimoire is a sweet card, but it's just a bit slow. Ooh, nice late Fiend Hunter here. Not good for us, but going to be very good for someone else. So we have a Think Twice, Sensory Deprivation, and a Grizzled Outcasts. We've gotten 2 Claustrophobias. Not sure I want another Sensory Deprivation. I do like Lost in the Mist as well, but I don't think I want it here. I think at this point I'm a bit low on creatures, so I probably just want to take the Grizzled Outcasts. Don't think we wheeled this from pack 1, which is interesting, given the Avacyn's Pilgrim wheel. It's possible that there is another green drafter, and they somehow thought another card was better in that pack for them. But yeah, maybe we get a Deprivation, or maybe a Lost in the Mist back from this pack. Ooh, nice. So we get a Moon Heron or a Dark Thicket Wolf. Another Mulch in the pack as well. Part of me is like, take the Moon Heron. You can just wheel the Dark Thicket Wolf, which really should not be possible. And yeah, I think I'm going to just take the Wolf here. It's just such a good 2-drop, and yeah, it feels a little bit too bad to pass it. The Moon Heron would be nice. We do have that Curiosity, but just getting on board early with something bigger than a 0/3 or like a 1/1 sounds pretty good to me. So let's take the Wolf. All right, nice. We get a late Villagers here, and a Makeshift Mauler. Remember, we did want one of those. There's also a Silver Inlaid Dagger. I really, really like this card. We might just take that here. God, I really like this pack. I think we're taking the Dagger because it's so good with the Deranged Assistants, which normally aren't threats, but with this thing they become threats. Same with the Avacyn's Pilgrim. Good with the evasive stuff as well. Yeah, this card is just really, really tough to pass. Would love the 4-drop or the 3-drop, but yeah, gonna be a Dagger here. Alright, now we get a Think Twice, totally reasonable card. Probably makes our deck almost all the time, even though it's not exciting. Yeah. Late Burning Vengeance. No one on the shenanigans today. Wow. Super late Wolf, Orchard Spirit, and I guess today it's just the day of double mythics. Second Grimoire of the Dead to go with that double Balefire Dragon earlier. Yeah, I think we're taking the Wolf here. Sorry, Orchard Spirit. Slowly turning into a beatdown deck as well. And now I think we want the Ambush Viper. Just getting all the green 2-drops about as late as we can possibly get them. This thing is not amazing, but it is totally solid. Trades up a lot of the time. The instant speed gives it nice flexibility. just a good card. Also, pretty good at turning on Morbid for some of the other stuff in our deck. So we have a Festerhide Boar. Speaking of that, yeah, we don't care about Gnaw to the Bone. We're not going in on a Frightful Delusion, so sure. And now we can take just another Kindercatch, I guess. I mean, I'm never really interested in a Grave Bramble. And a Lost in the Mist here. I think we were hoping to wheel a Sensory Deprivation or this card actually out of this pack, so sure. I mean, I don't think this deck really wants Lost in the Mist, but we'll take it. And a very late Mulch once again. Not sure how many of these things I'm going to want to play, but nice to pick it up. Wow, what the heck? Sure. So this deck I think is very nice. Green was super open, blue was not super closed either. And yeah, we just got a bunch of really solid playables super late. So let's see how we want to build this. I think I might just take the entire thing out. Yeah, let's put in Claustrophobia, Spirits, Elder, and the Villagers. And we definitely want Sturmgeist. We definitely want the Dark Thicket Wolves. And same with the Dagger. I think we're probably in for a lot of this nonsense as well. Let's put in a Moon Heron, probably an Ambush Viper, some number of these blue 2-drops. Like the Avacyn's Pilgrim now. Silent Departure for sure. Probably interested in a Sensory as well. Don't think we need the Spider. Maybe we put in the Outcasts. And now we can put in this and maybe this stuff. Kind of want Curiosity and Mulches and Think Twice, which makes it kind of tricky. We could go up to 24 spells instead of 23. It's not insane because we have the Pilgrim and the Mulch both to hit land drops. Also the Assistants are mana sources, so yeah, I actually think it's pretty reasonable. The Think Twice cycles as well, and ideally so does the Curiosity. Yeah, I don't think we want a Caravan Vigil particularly badly, and I don't think we're good enough at Morbid to be interested in too many other things. Like we could, I guess the only other card I would really consider here would be Make-A-Wish, but maybe we want to think about that for controlling matchups or that kind of thing, where we just want random 2-for-1s regardless of what they are. I think I'm happy enough with this though. See what the colors look like. Oh, almost exactly even, so probably 8 and 8 here. 7-9. I guess we do have 3 triple blue, 1 extra blue card overall. But I actually think I disagree with the 7-9. We really want Pilgrim turn 1 if possible, and Mulch is going to let us find islands as well. So yeah, let's do 8 and 8 anyway. Hopefully the Claustrophobias won't be too tricky for us to cast. Got a nice trophy with this Esper deck earlier. This deck was much less open than what we were drafting this time around. Murder of Crows was super good. Tons of evasion in this deck, and had to pick up some amulets for the white interactive cards, but they proved worth it in spades. So yeah, let's see how this deck does. Alright, going to play first. And yeah, this hand is solid. See exactly how long it takes us to turn on that test subject. We are running that out before the Mulch. Looks like a mirror match and a Mulch. I actually played against this opponent. Whoa, Garrick into the bin and oh, they did find a land, right? Yeah, they found a swamp. Yeah, so this person, I imagine, is drafting some spider spawning shenanigans. Played the spirit over the wolf for sake of mana efficiency. Splinter Fright, yikes. Okay, let's go for a mulch of our own now. And hitting the think twice was nice. Just play a wolf out, attack for 2. Hope the opponent doesn't hit any creatures on the Splinter Fright mill, so we still have a block. But even if they do, we have the Silent Departure. Yeah, they did hit the 1. Yeah, taking it. Lots of mana sinks at this point. Okay. Interesting. So, I think we want to get aggressive here. Question is, how exactly do we do that? We can also start thinking about this thing, but I think we just want to have this guy hang out. This says trample, and this does not. So maybe we can chump 5 later on. I think the play I want to make this turn is just attack for 6 and bounce the Splinter Fright. Sure. Would love to find a claustrophobia here. Probably one of our best draws. Let's see if they attack. Yeah, makes sense. So on the surface, they can't block. Splinter Fright coming back down. And a Boneyard Worm. Annoying. Okay. We don't have a great way of spending mana here. At this point, I'm kind of interested in just trying to flip this thing. Because right now, I mean, there's one huge problem with that, which is if we try to flip this thing, we're not casting a spell this turn. I can play a Deranged Assistant. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I guess my play now is Forest, attack for 2. Now I play an Assistant, and I'm planning on, like, I'm holding up this Dark Thicket Wolf ability, hoping they don't hit a creature. Nice. But they did hit a Knot of the Bone. That's really annoying. And now we're going to have this test subject be really annoying, I hope. Basically trying to use Threat of Activation. Oh man, that's super rough for me. Yeah, not a whole lot I can do about that. I mean, I can cast my Think Twice this turn, but that was very bad for me. And a crab, okay. So they're not attacking here. So now we're going to Think Twice. Alright. Yeah, so now we're in extremely rough shape. Like, we're hitting for 2 a turn, but the opponent has just a ton of life there. We have a lot of evasion, so this feels a bit unfortunate. I mean, we do have a ton of mana sources in this deck, so it's not super unfortunate what's happening to us. Would love a Lost in the Mist here. Alright, Villagers of Estwald from the opponent. And that's it. Ooh, a Sturmgeist now. That's a pretty big game here. So yeah, we are done playing out those lands. I could have been milling with Deranged Assistance, but I don't think I really want to at this point because Like, I mean, I guess it's good for the Scab Goliath, but we already found our Silent Departure and our Think twice, so it's not amazing in general here, and definitely getting rewarded now to draw the Sturmgeist as opposed to having milled. Okay. Okay. Really need the opponent not to find a spider spawning, which we basically are certain they have in their deck. Okay, now we're going to block and use an assistant to pump. Milling a Moon Heron is really annoying, but these trade. Let's find a big creature, please. Well, not the biggest of creatures. Attack for 5. And a Claustrophobia. So, I think we want to flip stuff back. So I think my play is Claustrophobia, this Boneyard Worm, and yeah, I mean the opponent basically has to find a spider spawning here or they die. Like they do have the Knot of the Bone, so I mean that's worth remembering. But I'm not even opposed to like a triple block here on the villagers. Yeah. Is this a Gnaw? No, it's a... Okay. Do they have... Let's see, it looks like another Gnaw to the Bone. So that unfortunately represents quite a bit of life. Flashing back 1 now. Okay. Choosing not to play the Elder and pump first. So now we can Elder, and I think we actually flash this back here. Just leaving a bunch of lands in hand for the Sturmgeist. I should have actually counted, but don't think it changes a ton here. Okay, they attack. Sure, I mean this looks like a spider spawning. No. Okay, they're just almost dead. Actually, they might just be dead here. So they gain 14 life, so no, they're not dying. I'm in this awkward spot now because I am kind of close to having to chump. Like, Absence Pilgrim is going to go in front of this thing, and if we don't cast a spell, yeah. I guess I'm not supposed to play a land here. I'm only supposed to pump once. $10 though. Threatening lethal. So they're going to gain life. We draw a card, and it is an Ambush Viper. Awkwardly, well, I could play it main phase. Does it really change anything? Probably not. I guess it's bad if it gets countered, so sure, we'll just play it now. So yeah, opponent has to find a spider spawning here or they are just dead. Nice, and they did not find it. Alright, do we have any sideboard? Can we Memories Journey them? I don't think that's super good. We actually might be in for dream twisting them here, which is kind of hilarious. Otherwise, yeah, there's not too much going on. Sure, we can try to do that. What do we want to cut? Not easy to find a cut here. Maybe just like a dumb grizzled outcast. It's kind of nice to have one though. Maybe a mulch. Didn't feel like we really needed to hit more land drops. Alright, so we have mulliganed effectively here by drawing the Dream Twist, but maybe we can meme them out of the game with it. And still, we have lands of both colors and some stuff to do. Let's draw a 2-drop here. They have the wolf. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Though, remember, this is only replacing a mulch, so not that that would be super helpful here. Not pumping, so they are casting something. Occultist, sure. No double blue. Orchard Spirit is a pretty reasonable 3-drop, but it's actually awful here. Can't block either of their creatures, so at this point we're very far behind. Really hoping for just an island or, yeah, good 4-drop maybe. If they kill it, I'm very happy. Looked like they were thinking about a Prey Upon. Yeah, can't block. Mulch, sure. Triple mulch now. Nice. Okay, so we get to Claustrophobia, the annoying one. Start cracking back for 2. Sturmgeist next turn is a 3/3. Sure. Did think they had that. Don't really care about the milling. Mulch number 4. Okay. Play Sturmgeist 2/3 now. I think I am supposed to block this Solhoff Occultist. Annoying as that is, life total's just a bit low. This card is pretty good against me though. Not good against the Orchard Spirit, but otherwise pretty good. Block. Sure. Okay. Now we get a hit in for 3. We play a couple spells. Things are looking decent for us. Sure. Dream Twist secretly a combo with the Sturmgeist. We never wanted to play the damn thing anyway, which means we're just going to have a bigger Sturmgeist than we might otherwise. Okay. So 7/7 can attack into their 5/5. It doesn't do a whole lot if that happens because they can just regenerate. Pretty annoying. So we definitely want to equip there. Try to draw some cards. Looks like we're going to draw a card. Nice. And yeah, we don't care about flipping back, and we don't care about Dream Twist or playing a land, so yeah, we're just passing here. Could re-equip, but seems unnecessary. Opponent has an Ambush Viper. Sure, that can trade with our Pilgrim. block, block. You got me for 2. They're just letting it die. That's very interesting. How many gnaws to the bone? Only 1. Oh, Milgarrick again. Nice. And spawning. X is 5. Sure. That actually means this can't attack, right? But we do get to chip in there for 7. Sure. Okay. Surprisingly, opponent choosing to kill the 7/7. So we get to kill 1 creature, 2 creature, 3. So not very many, but better than none. Now they get a bunch of mills. Hopefully this Dream Twist is going to be pretty good here in a minute. We can just get rid of these, doesn't really matter. Pass the turn. Sure. Okay, so do they have 9 power? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so no. We actually take a lot of damage if we attack, though. Well, kind of. I think I'm just supposed to put this here. Wow, they just take it. And now we put this back. Sure, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Can't really afford to attack. Well, I guess I'm wrong. I was gonna say I don't really think they can afford to attack all, but they don't agree. A Boneyard Worm. Okay. Pretty large. And a knot to the bone. Sure. Well, that's pretty good. I think I can afford to attack with the Goliath. I mean, let's see. If they have any interaction or anything, I don't think they really have. I mean, I'm almost just dead, right? So I guess I kind of need to. Yeah, it's really not ideal. And then I do this, and I just go to 1. I don't think there was a way I could have milled more stuff here. This is just a forced play. Yeah, and then they flash it back. I just don't think I can win at that point. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate. I can put them to 2 cards in library, of course. Maybe if I'd left Goliath back, I can attack with both my creatures and they chump, then they go to 6 cards and I Dream Twist. Maybe. Yeah, it's not ideal, but clearly we are dead here. Lost in the Mist actually might be pretty good in this matchup. Like, we know they're going for spider spawnings, so countering seems pretty reasonable. Is there something we'd want to take out, though? I mean, they almost just beat us down this game, though I do think a counterspell is probably good enough. Actually, let's take out the Dream Twist. Sure. All right. Play first. Good hand. Very good hand, actually. 5-drops are a bit awkward, but dagger plus both colors of mana plus a deranged assistant and a wolf. Let's just find an untapped land here. I mean, all of our lands are untapped, but still. Whoa, opponent accidentally F6'd their turn. Yikes. Well, it's pretty good for us. We're going to play a wolf here. And then these things are almost unblockable if we find a land. Oh, the opponent did not F6 their turn. The opponent kept a 1-lander. I see. I think I just want to equip one of these. Okay, opponent finds second land and still can't do anything. Why would you keep a 1-lander if you don't have plays on 2, though? Do not know. And I'm actually just going to play double assistant at this point. Okay, they have a Viper. Sure. It's going to trade for the 4/2. Yeah, so that makes their keep a little more reasonable. These are 4/1s, by the way, sort of. Like, maybe they had a mulch, and maybe, you know, they figured 1-lander mulch on the draw. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. So now I think my play is... Well, I mean, we can just attack, right? And then, yeah, let's equip post-combat, actually. Attack. Now we're actually just equipping one of these. It's a 4/1. Garrick, fight a wolf. Make a wolf, sure. I mean, they're basically dead here. Just going to ignore the Garrick. We could guarantee killing the Garrick here. Is that better? I think we just want to try to kill them. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, that means no Lost in the Mist. Okay, sure. So we pump. Opponent goes to 4, and then we dagger there. Oh, and we get a 7/7, by the way. Mulch. Yeah, so now the Garrick makes a wolf, or it fights either of these, really. And then they need a nod to the bone or they die. They don't have one there. 6 creature cards, though. But if they do it on my turn, they lose. Okay. Believe they are dead on board here. Yeah, 3 things with 4+ power. Nothing they can do for 0 mana. Sure, they fight 1, they die. Should we play the BM Goliath? Probably not. Goliath online. Alright. Alright, we are back for round number 2. This hand doesn't have a great target for the Curiosity, but it's just a decent hand. Ooh, well, Curiosity target acquired, I suppose. Sure. Okay, we did get there on the blue source. Gonna offer the trade. Don't really value this thing very highly. No, okay. That's super annoying. I think I actually just go for the Curiosity on the Ambush Viper now. Cycle, threaten to do worse, and double Wolf now. Cool. Sturmgeist into play next turn. Kind of have to trade with the Ambush Viper now. Interesting. That's really annoying. So now the question is, am I supposed to push damage? And I think I am. I think this game's all about racing. So I'm going to ignore the Sturmgeist and go for Silent Departure into Dark Thicket Wolf, draw a card, hit for 5. Not quite as mana efficient as I would have liked to have been there, but still just a very good turn. Yep, comes back, and I mean, they're basically dead now. That attack I think is extremely wrong, but I mean, it doesn't do a ton if they don't attack, so fair. So now we bounce again. Yes. Opponent down to 4 life. A lot of stuff is looking scary for them here. The wolves are lethal threats on their own. You basically have to block the Ambush Viper too, so yeah. Nice. Quick one. We won the Voltron battle here. Alright, so blue-white. I think this would actually be the matchup for the white card that destroys a spirit or an aura, I think, or an enchantment, I guess. That would actually be decent against them. But obviously, we don't have that. Could consider a spider, but it seems a little slow. Still could be better than a mulch. Festerhide Boar is a lot of power and toughness for the mana cost, but not really sure. Actually, maybe it's better than a Ludovic's guy. We'll put the spider in for that. Probably want to leave it like that. Mulches are a bit awkward on the draw. You can end up discarding the hand size. Let's try a boar over a mulch. Alright. So this hand is really close, right? Like we have a dagger, we have an island, and 2 ways of finding sources of mana at 2. One is the Deranged Assistant, and one is the mulch. We only have 8 forests in the deck. I think this hand just has too high of a fail rate, so we're going to throw it back. Yikes. Now we end up with something that might be worse here. But I don't think we can go to 5. So I think we're keeping a 1-lander, 6-card hand with Silent Departure, Dagger, Think Twice. I think we have to put back Sturmgeist here. Sure. Does not feel great. I think we're kind of dead. Okay, well, Island is a good start. Now I would like to draw a forest in one of the top 2. Well, okay. This thing we cannot block very easily, can we? Okay. That's pretty annoying. That card's super good in this format. Wishing we had the Sturmgeist back, of course. Stalker, sure. And a torch. Okay. So, absolutely playing our creature here. And that is just about game over. Now we can play like Orchard Spirit into bounce. Yeah, I mean, we're just almost dead here. First strike plus torch kills the boar. I still think we need to play the boar. This is actually sick with a torch on it, because you can activate after attacking, and you have the first strike to finish off like an X4. Yeah, very good start from the opponent here. Let's see if they... Yeah. I think we have to try to get the torch out of the way. Sure, Chapelgeist. So now we can go play an Orchard Spirit and bounce the Geist, trade for the Slayer. Yeah, not feeling amazing about this. Though I don't think keeping Sturmgeist really changes this game a whole lot. Yeah, the opponent's deck is just a very good aggressive deck when they hit their land drops. We can play a couple deranged assistants here, but I mean, the writing's on the wall. We can't win this game. So interestingly, I don't actually think Invisible Stalker is a good card without combos. Like 2-mana 1/1, unblockable, hexproof is not good in my opinion. But with enough additional pressure, it can absolutely get there. I think we boarded pretty decently. Maybe we want a mulch back now. And maybe take out Spider, which just seems slow. Though maybe it's better than a Scab Goliath here, and we, yeah, play that mulch. Sure, I can see that. To be fair, after that Mola one-lander into a one-lander keep, we had more of a game than we expected, and unfortunately, don't think we're going to get a ton of a game with this hand, but I mean, I can't throw this away. Like, with the forest, this is just good. So, and we have land drops, we have some interaction. The Inquisitor is just so good. Sure, let's find a forest. Nope. Yeah, looking rough. Okay, forest. Please. Nice. Okay, so we have to jam the villagers here. Any land gets us to the Moon Heron. Forest lets us play double 2-mana green card if we want. Sure. And I guess it might be double 2-mana green card here in the face of the torch. Yeah. I could also Silent Departure, but I don't think I want to do that. So let's go for, yeah, Wolf and Mulch. Sure, just cycle, binning 3 cards that we would have liked to draw. Not really how we drew it up. Kind of hope the opponent equips and then passes. No, they're just doing that now. And that dang thing again. Okay. Well, good news is the Moon Heron should be decent here. I actually think we go Departure this guy, attack for 2. Yeah, I think that's correct. Silent Departure U. Card is just too annoying. Attack. And then now Moon Heron. Yeah. I think we're very far behind here though. Like even if we're a little bit ahead on board and we have a decent turn 6 lined up here. Yikes. Uh-huh. Can we beat that card? No. Doesn't seem like it. So we deprivation here, and we flashback this here, and we attack, and I mean we're going to lose, but like if we draw Claustrophobia, that's our best bet. Claustrophobia is like game winning though, because we double spell and get in for 5, except they have a chump. Still not bad. We attack with both. They eat one of them. We play a 5/5. Wow. Extremely happy about that. I think that was a pretty awful play from the opponent. I think you have to actually block there. So now let's hope we draw literally anything that affects the board. I would still love a Claustrophobia. Opponents got to feel a little like they got wrecked after seeing that. Okay. Well, now I feel a little like I've gotten wrecked. And they have the double white guy, so now attacking just doesn't make any sense. Claustrophobia with... Wow. That, I think, is totally wrong from them. But I think they think we have a trick, and wow, that was super good. We just have to attack in the air. And then Claustrophobia this. And we don't have them dead next turn, but it's pretty close. Okay, take 2. Just need no flyer from them. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. We get a 4/6 here if nothing happens. Well, that was a good draw. Creature. Flyer. Spirit. None of the above. Alright. Do we die? Oh, kinda, right? Yeah, now we need Claustrophobia again. Take 8. Sure. Totally winnable game. Yikes. Silver Chase to... Yeah. We can't win now. Nope. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, so we attack with both. Inquisitor blocks this. Fox blocks that. Sax hits the Claustrophobia. Yeah, we do. We absolutely die here. So, unfortunate, but we drew more lands than they did. With like a dagger, we almost have a chance, but their deck was good. Alright, playing first in round 3 against Gargantuan Turtle. This hand just had a hand like this. On the play, I don't think I can keep it. If the land was a forest, I think I actually would, but with an island, I'm going to say no. And get a very similar hand, once again. Yeah, I think this time it's a keep. We play the dagger on 1, pray for land on 2. Don't actually know what I'm supposed to get rid of. It's probably a green card. Sure, get rid of this wolf. Come on. Praying for a land. And not getting there, unfortunately. It's what happens when you have too many mana producers. Well, I was going to say like too many cards that count as mana sources, but that aren't actually a land. Wow, super aggressive. Please let me punish them. Okay, that was about as good in terms of punishing them as we could have hoped for. We now have a 5/3. I think we are going to put a curiosity on that. I mean, we'll see what they do here. Nothing? Yeah, I mean, don't know what they could have, but land? Please? No? Okay, still good. Not unhappy about our spot. Okay, that's pretty annoying. And we can't afford to pump. So what we can do is think twice, look for a land, and then play Pilgrim no matter what. Sure. I think the opponent's way behind here. Okay, now what do we do? 6 mana. Maybe I'm supposed to hold that land. If we pump the Elder, it trades for both their creatures, give them a 6/4. I think I just want to play Sturmgeist here and pass. They have 7 cards in hand, but we have a bunch of good stuff in play. Kind of putting the opponent in a really awkward spot where if they try to race, like they just have to worry about some of my creatures getting in and drawing cards by dealing combat damage, so I like that. Wow. Okay, they're just going for it. I don't think I'm supposed to make this trade. I think that's pretty abysmal, so I'm gonna say okay. Take 6. Then what? You have a Brimstone Volley kind of? Oh, Blasphemous Act. So it's a 3/3, sort of. Pretty annoying. And a bump in the night. Okay. Just double spelling here. Gotta remember we have Think Twice. I think the opponent's still behind. Yeah, definitely still behind now. So we get to do this, attack with both, play an Orchard Spirit when they don't block. Okay, happy enough with that. Not pumping here still. Land is a good draw, lets us play the Moon Heron and equip. I think Murder of Crows would be a much more reasonable card at 3 power. As in, like, I think it would be a better designed card at 3 power, but eh. Grimgrin. Okay, well, there's that land we were talking about. Now we do this. Gotta remember, this thing only untaps if you can sack something. So yeah, we just attack. Threaten lethal in the air, sort of, with the spirit. Very mana efficient turns. Feels a little like we drew extremely well, but I think really our deck is just that good. Additional cost here, somehow. Yeah. Still dead in the air. Opponent is playing a lot of cards that I don't think you should put in your deck. Like Bump in the Night was one of them, but they also exiled a Disciple. Okay, they do get to blow up one of my creatures here, but they're still dead on board, and they realize that. Okay. Alright, so Grimgrin is good, I guess, but it's a weird card. I don't think this is a matchup for Ludovic's test subject. I think we just want to be aggressive here, and that makes me want a boar. And yeah, I think otherwise this is fine. We've been mulliganing so much that maybe mulch on the draw isn't going to be that awkward. Alright, well, just when I say that, island double mulch. And yeah, totally unkeepable hand here, unfortunately. This hand is definitely unexciting, but forced to keep. Turn 3 boar, I guess, is kind of cute. Well, I really love the dagger in this deck, by the way, just as a way of making these kind of embarrassingly sized creatures relevant. And I think now we are in a spot where we're supposed to start milling with Deranged Assistant just for value, just for the think twice, the bounce spell, etc. Okay. Yeah, well, now it's very clear, right, with the Scat Goliath. We're just going to play an Orchard Spirit here and pass, milling, end of turn. A little awkward because I imagine the opponent cracks this and maybe, yeah, sacks that. So if this thing had flash, we could do something cool, but it does not. Amulet, sure. Okay. Sure, that's pretty annoying. Card's always so good. Yeah, can't block. And a bump. Alright, well, I'm more likely to get them to trade if I equip the Spirit, but I think it's just worse to do that, and maybe I actually want to trade the Spirit for the Homunculus, weirdly enough. So let's go Dagger. Dagger up this 1/1, which we are no longer able to mill with, which is annoying. And once again, we're not going to be able to take advantage of Morbid, regardless of when stuff dies here. Okay, think twice is fine. Yeah, I think I am supposed to trade. Well, I don't know. I'm playing the boar anyway next turn. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna let the damage happen. It's a bit awkward, but oh well. Okay, this is very strange. Wonder if there's a Wrath in my future somehow. Maybe a removal spell should be nice for the boar, like a Geist Flame. Okay, they're just taking damage. Frightful Delusion can't counter this. Desperate Ravings, sure. Yeah, it's another card I don't think you should be playing. Like, maybe the opponent has a Burning Vengeance, and that's why they're playing, like, Bump in the Night, Desperate Ravings, but don't think those are cards you should put in your deck anyway. So we're sort of ahead in the race here. Not attacking with both means no Wrath this turn. Sure. Now I think we probably die to that thing. Is there any way they just trade with 2 creatures? I mean, we just can't win now, right? Just 2 creatures need to die, and then at that point, this thing is lethal. So, I mean, I think we're just dead, but still going to attack. Snapping off blocks here, of course. And yeah, just can't win now. Okay, definitely a keep on the back of the Wolves once again, though we are playing a Villagers turn 3. Bump in the Night turn 1. You got it. Yeah, kind of hard to beat a curve like this. We could even play Assistant now if we really wanted Outcasts next turn, but I think it's just better to do this. If they don't have a spell on their turn again, it's going to flip, though they probably do. Sure, there's the Burning Vengeance. But now we have Wolf plus Assistant. And yeah, 4 creatures on the battlefield versus 1 enchantment on the battlefield. It's going to be tough for them to win this. We have double pump up as well now. Yeah, I mean, this is just silly. Sure. We're going to mill end of turn. Think twice. Okay, if they have an island, they can kill a wolf now. And they only take 9 on board. Yeah. Alright. 2-1, not bad for that deck. I think this deck easily could have trophied. We had some really tough luck with mulligans, but we also had some games with sick curve outs, so I can't complain too much. I think really the main takeaway is despite all the interaction that we picked relatively highly, it felt like we just couldn't do anything, especially when we were on the draw against that blue-white deck. So yeah, maybe a Blazing Torch to take out that Elite Inquisitor would have helped some, but other than that, yeah, I don't think there's too much we could have done differently there. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and we'll see you again next time.